I bought a massive warehouse to turn into my dream YouTube studio. We've been working hard to transform this place from an old rundown industrial building into a place where creativity can flourish. But there is one major issue that we can't put off any longer.
Oh my goodness!
The sound. This is a huge metal and concrete box. The reverb in here is crazy.
The reverb tail is like 9 seconds.
So it's time to take on the monumental task of sound treating this massive space.
Okay, this is sound test of the studio beforehand. Do you guys hear that reverb? Actually, let's play a clip of the first day we moved in here. That reverb tail is like 9 seconds. This is the main. And it finally stopped. There was a lot of reverb then. We've loaded this room with a bunch of stuff, which kind of breaks up the sound a bit, but there's still a ton of reverb. So think of this as the before, and hopefully we can improve the after. We got some rock wool, AKA mineral wool. It's time to start sound treating this studio.
This is the Owens Corning mineral wool we're gonna be using in our sound panels. And a bit of lumber never hurts.
So first things first on our mission for better sound, I got some more rugs, and we're gonna lay them on the floor.
This makes 4 total 12 by 16 rugs I have in this main room.
Kick! Oh! Who stepped on the plastic? Rug stage 1, done. Now for the sound blankets, to block the sound of the air conditioner.
Here's a sample of what that sounds like.
Okay, here comes the bundle of sound blankets number 1. And sound blanket bundle number 2. Straight blanket right there on top. Did I cut it? I cut it a little bit. Cut it a little bit more there. These are the producer's choice sound blankets from vocalbooth2go.com. They did not sponsor this, but if they do want to send me like 50 more of these, I wouldn't mind. I think we're gonna mount pieces of wood up on the ceiling and then put little eye hooks in the wood and then just zip tie them up there. Simple as Raspberry Pi. Let's do it.
I saw an MKBHD studio tour where he hung sound blankets in front of his AC unit, so I wanted to give it a try. This is just the beginning of our sound treatment journey.
1, 2, 3, 4.
And we were still figuring out what was gonna work and how to attach stuff to the ceiling and the walls.
Strong enough to hold a blanket?
Yeah, I'm giving that a good tug.
Okay, so this is a before test without the blankets. We'll just listen for a second. And then we're gonna do this test with the exact same gain settings, with the mic in the same spot after we get the blankets hung up. Now I'm gonna zip tie these sound blankets up. I hope they don't fall down.
My crew had gone home, so I had to do this part by myself. Once again, I'm very happy I purchased this used scissor lift. It constantly comes in handy.
The blankets are up there. They're hanging down a little bit far for my liking. So we're thinking we might just zip tie these magnets to the bottom parts of the blankets up there and just magnet them to the AC unit.
I'm the type of guy where anytime I can use magnets to solve a problem, I will use magnets to solve a problem.
Test. Okay, so here's the same test. The mic is in the exact same spot. Let's listen.
It looks like maybe a 3 decibel drop in sound. I was hoping for a bit more drastic results.
There you have it.
Okay, so the sound blankets in front of the AC did not work too well. But hopefully something that will work better is sound panels. We started by making some 4-foot by 8-foot frames for these monster sound panels. Then we made an 8-foot by 8-foot sawhorse table to work on. Okay, as far as fabric goes, I got some dark gray here, got some light gray, and I got some aqua. And I went for 100% cotton. It's got a little bit of stretch to it, but most importantly, it's breathable. When you blow through it, you can definitely feel air coming out the other side. We want the sound to pass through this fabric and hit the insulation. Look at these colors. I think this is gonna be beautiful. That's my fabric. To stretch the fabric, we put 1 staple on each of the 4 sides, and then Nick and I worked as a team.
Hey, moves, brother.
Stretching the canvas equally on opposite sides and working our way around.
It's not the prettiest corner in the world, but maybe we'll get better at them. For the corners, we just did hospital folds and tried to get them as clean and tight as we could. Okay, next up we have this insulation, this mineral wool, and this is the magic ingredient that's gonna turn our sound panel into an absorbing rectangle. Luckily, the insulation fit perfectly without us having to cut it. Then we used black felt as the backing on this panel. Sound panel number 1. I think we did a pretty freaking awesome job on it. Like the front is smooth, it's not all ripply. Nick, go get the professional one. I think it looks pretty freaking good. Test, test, test. Oh my God. Talking into this thing is so dead. There's the professional one, and you can still feel that. Look, feel this and feel that.
Yeah.
It's the same exact
That's the
feeling.
same.
Their corners are probably a little better than ours. But look at this size of this sound panel, dude. I'm really hyped on this thing. Now we just gotta make like 20 more of these, if not more. Every time I think I have enough supplies, I don't. Let's go on another Home Depot run. Going up. Whoa! Holy cow. There's currently a line at both of the wood places that we need. We need 12 foots, and we need 8 foots. And those are the popular spots right now.
Sometimes you need 12 or 8 feet.
1, how many of these do we need? 42, 3.
You're doing great, sweetie.
We're gonna make us a tripod. There you go, just lean her on there. We done made us a Home Depot tripod. Wood procured. Yippee!
Got our channel and stuff?
Yeah, it's called 1000.
1000?
Yeah.
Then it was time to load the wood into my trailer. This guy right here was standing there the whole time, basically heckling us. I love living in Michigan because people around here will just start talking to you for no reason. Everyone's just down to chat. All right, trailer full of wood, heart full of passion, mind full of vision. With your powers combined, I am Captain Planet. Wind, water, earth, fire. And then there's that lame-o Heart. Get out of here, Heart. Who let you in the gang?
The power is yours.
I've been having some ideas, some rejected sound treatment ideas. Number 1, going and finding every stuffed animal we can from Goodwill and just gluing it to the ceiling. Another one I was thinking is, you remember my pom-poms video where I made a picture of a chameleon with 10,000 pom-poms? Well, we up the ante and do the entire Sistine Chapel with like 10 million pom-poms all over the ceiling. Okay, so we have to cut 60 45-inch pieces for our cross braces in these panels. Nick had the idea to set up this stop block here so we can just assembly line 45-inch cuts and don't have to measure it every single time.
Just check every few, make sure we're not getting off. Stop blocks.
With our little assembly line fully set up, we quickly made it to 60 45-inch cross braces. 60. Now we frame. Testing that cart.
This thing's sturdy.
Pile number 1, pile number 2.
And Nick.
Let's get framing. Woo! Over time, me and Nick got pretty fast at framing out these panels. We could make like 6 to 8 of them in 20 minutes. Okay, so we are going to hang the first sound panel. So we're gonna attach a French cleat to the back of the first one and see if we can hang this on the wall. My homie Slew always seems to sneak into the conversation how much he loves French cleats.
These French cleats. Main thing I'm bringing, which I love, is the French cleats. Pop quiz. French cleats, what are they? You know, I talk a lot about these French cleats, but I love French cleats. Amazing. The French cleat system is the best.
But now that I've started using them, bro, I feel you. These things are awesome. We're gonna try to put the first French cleat right up there. We knew from previous experience of taking the metal off the wall that there's a wooden 2x4 right behind these line of screws. So we just had to screw through the thin metal and we'd hit wood.
Woo! It works.
One done. Now let's build a lot more. Welcome to 1000's giant-sized sound panels. You know, if my whole staff dropped everything else and dedicated themselves to making these sound panels, we could probably crank out like 40 a day.
Panel. Panel.
That's a legitimate business, son.
¿Dónde está la biblioteca?
Hey, stay tuned to the end of the video, because I'm gonna tell you how much I spent to make each one of these panels individually. I'm gonna compare that to the professional panels, and I'm gonna tell you how much I spent to treat this whole studio, the grand total. And it may be more than you think, or less than you think. I don't know what you're thinking, but it'll be a number. So look forward to that, and in the meantime, leave a like on this video. Thank you very much. All right, so last night Ty came in for the evening shift and he knocked out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of the aqua sound panels. And what I think I wanna do is go gray, aqua, gray, aqua, gray, aqua. So we're gonna pull half of these down, swap them out with the aquas, and then go from there. Now let's bring in the aquas. I started this project by just going to the local Joann fabric store and just buying as much of the good-looking ultra-wide fabric I could.
Woohoo! Let's go!
I quickly bought them out and had to switch to ordering online and waiting for the fabric to arrive.
As you saw in our scientific testing, these blankets are not really doing anything and they look super ugly. So I think we're gonna rip down this whole like 5 hours worth of work.
We ripped down the blankets from the AC unit and instead turned them into these pillowy, billowy blanket bubbles on the ceiling.
Okay, so I have 8 sound blankets left and I have a plan for them. I noticed when the blankets were hanging straight down from there, it cut down a lot on the sound. So I want to take them and maybe hang them vertically down, kind of just past where this guardrail is. So let's try that.
So I think the thing that made the biggest difference immediately is these baffles. Hey, like the reverb tail in here cut down so much. Sound panels, you build one and things get more awesome, which kind of reminds me of today's sponsor, Squarespace. Squarespace is a website where you can build a website. Whether you're an artist, a designer, or a professional sound panel builder, you deserve to have a beautiful website. Squarespace has these award-winning templates where all you gotta do is drop your awesome content into their beautiful templates and boom, you have a website. I've been using Squarespace for like freaking 6 years or something like that, and I've been a happy customer. Their list of features goes on and on: automatic image scaling, amazing e-commerce, member exclusive areas of your website, subscription products. Like every time I want my Squarespace website to do something, I'm like, nah, Squarespace can't do that. And then I look it up and boom, they have it. So what are you waiting for? It's time for you to have a beautiful website. Go to squarespace.com to start your free trial. And then when you're ready to launch your site, go to squarespace.com/1000 for 10% off the first purchase of a website or domain. Thank you, Squarespace. Let's get back to these sound panels. Yeah, we're just gonna keep sound treating it. The roof is gonna be quite the task. Makes me a little nervous to put that up there. Hi, Georgie. Hi, June June. You got your tea?
Now, just before Peter and them can get here the next time, probably Monday, 1000 said I couldn't hang it all by myself. We're just gonna give her a test try real quick.
Just to clarify, I said, Ty, you shouldn't try to hang it by yourself. It wasn't meant as a personal challenge that he couldn't hang it by himself.
Not too shabby. Beat you to it, 1000. Maybe next time.
Next, Ty put up a few sound blankets on the outside of the set, just for a bit more dampening. I think I'll eventually completely cover the outside of the set with sound blankets. When Nick and I got in the next morning, we started hanging the first sound panel on the ceiling.
So I think that the ceiling panel is hanging too low from the ceiling. Get a load of that. It's like 3 feet of distance from the ceiling. What I'm thinking is, in theory, sound could still go up there, bounce off of the exposed ceiling, and it's almost like it's untreated ceiling. But I think it'd be better if it was just like 5 inches of gap versus like 2.5, 3 feet of gap. So I think we need to pull it down, shorten the chain, and try again. Hey guys, guess what we're doing? Framing out more panels.
Woo! We love making rectangles. What? We love making rectangles. What?
My estimates of how much wood and how much fabric and how much insulation and how much panels seem to be coming up short over and over again. We kept having to make more and more and more, and the sound treatment and spending seemed like it was never gonna end.
Right now, on these walls, we have it as like gray, blue, which is kind of cool and all. It was mostly because we ran out of the gray, so we switched to the blue. But it also looks like we're kind of trying to do something cool with the pattern. And I want these sound panels to be as unvisually distracting as possible. So I think it would look good if the walls were all gray and then the ceiling was all blue, you know, like the sky. That's the next maneuver.
We're gonna try and be smart guys and make some panel hanging tools out of these little skinny pieces of wood. Woohoo! Screw some hooks on the end of it. We can use it to extend our reach and get those chains onto the hooks on the ceiling. I have made tool. I have evolved from ape to man. Heck yeah, boy. Let's go. Look at what got here just in time. Joanne Fabrics. I wonder if that's the aqua or the gray. It is gray. That's cool. Gray's Anatomy. 1000 Shades of Gray.
That's right. That was right.
Looks great.
I have this entire time been trying to think of something.
What's your favorite fruit? Grapes. You got nothing?
This is degrading. That's terrible.
Nice carry the fabric footage.
Yes, this is the content that people came to see.
This is the shot they want. Carrying the fabric footage. Gandalf's favorite fabric.
Until he dies and comes back to life and becomes Gandalf the White. Read a book, Peter.
Next, you'll never guess what we did. We made more sound panels. I know, crazy, right? But it's true.
Nice.
You know, making these panels is kind of time consuming and very repetitive. But luckily, I just invented this panel gun, and this should really speed things up. Let's try this thing out. Oh, sick, that worked great. Let's do one over here. Oh, yes! Let's try one more on the ceiling. Oh, what the hell? Oh man, I used it twice and it's already busted? Ah, well, I guess we gotta go back to the old-fashioned way. As the blue ceiling panels started going up, we could really start hearing the difference in how the room sounded. Another beautiful day in panel land. Oh, wait. It's a sleepy Friday. No. First things first, we have to cut 60 more 45-inch chunks. No. There 20 more 4-foot by 8 panels. There can't be more. I can't believe after all this, we still have to make 20 more. Hold on. No, we're not watching more panel footage. Let's skip ahead. So the next step in the sound treatment extravaganza is I have these big black theater curtains and I've got PVC pipe. We're gonna make a giant rod to go across this gap right here. So there's 2 holes up there drilled into this massive beam and I hope that our PVC can fit through there and just rest there. That's a taut squeeze, yeah. I mean, that's got a pressure fit. We can make like peg that sticks out once we get it lined up, slot it in. Okay, I just got back from Home Depot and got this 1-inch PVC. We have those holes up there in the beams and this is gonna kind of fit through there as like a peg. And then we'll put this guy on the end as a stopper to keep it from sliding through that hole. And this guy fits perfectly into the 1.25 inch, like very snug and secure. So this is gonna be up there and then this will be the peg that it hangs off of those beams. I also got this stuff, so we'll have a couple hanging supports. First one's gonna go up there, but we have this crawl space where we can access that hole. Right up here, we have the first one. Just slide that in there. I'm not gonna lie, I'm actually kind of proud of how I managed to MacGyver this 20-foot curtain rod on the cheap. PVC pipe is pretty magical stuff.
The war cry of my people.
That's actually the reverb test now. We can tell how good the sound treatment is working. Bro, it's actually insane in here now.
Yeah, it sounds way better, honestly.
And with that last piece, the curtains were up. Dude, that sounds really good. We're getting there, baby.
That does look pretty sick, I'm not gonna lie.
Being in the space, doing all these changes, we can hear firsthand the way that it changes the acoustic environment. And there's certain steps that have made big changes. This is one of them. When those curtains went up, the whole sonic fingerprint of this room changed for the better. Goodness gracious, we've come so far, and that room is really starting to sound so good. And I think what's gonna put the icing on the cake is these baffles right here. We have yet to make one, but that's about to change right now. So these are my secret weapon that I've been saving for the end. These 8-foot by 30-inch baffles are gonna hang down vertically from the steel support beams to break up the sound as it flies through the warehouse. After hanging those sound blankets down vertically, I knew I wanted some more sound panels to give me that vertical baffle action. We're going for full-on sound treatment overkill. And speaking of overkill, let's go ahead and do it. We're gonna add some more 4-foot by 8-foot baby blue sky panels to the ceiling. I want this room dead, or as close to it as I can feasibly get. And just in time, another order of fabric showed up so we could hang these last 5 sky panels and call this thing done.
Ran out of breath pretty quick on that one.
That just sounds dead.
Hell yes.
How does that feel, Peter?
Feels good, baby. Feels good. This was like the biggest thing going, and it's done. Yeah. The moment that I had been waiting for more than any other, the after test. This is it. This is the after. This is sound test of the studio beforehand. It sounds so much better in here. So think of this as the before, and hopefully we can improve the after. There's still a touch of liveness because this is a massive room, but it used to just be a wash of reverb. Hey, we got a bit still. But this right here with the mic right here is more of a realistic test because this is how I'm gonna be filming my YouTube videos. A camera here, a mic here, about 6 to 8 inches from my mouth, and it sounds so much better, especially compared to when we originally moved in here. Oh my goodness! So much room for activities! I cannot wait. The last thing I want to do is give you guys a walk around and just kind of show you all the final sound treatment that we've done. A little sound treatment tour of the studio, but first I just want to say thank you for watching. Subscribe to my YouTube channel if you're not already. I do a ton of art videos, but also since I bought this building, I've been doing studio transformation videos as well. Check out my merch at 1000art.com. I got a ton of cool stuff over there. T-shirts, hoodies, prints, custom decks of playing cards, all kinds of stuff. But yeah, let me give you a little sound treatment tour of the studio. Okay, where should I start? Let's start with the 15 gray sound panels on the walls, going all the way around. Moving on to the ceiling, we have a couple of sound blankets right there, a couple more sound blankets right there. And then above the garage door track system, we have 4 more sound blankets. Sky panel 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Boom, baby, let's go. Plus these 5 sound blanket baffles hanging from the back. And speaking of baffles, we have 2, 4, 6 baffles hanging downward. Our curtains really help a lot, sectioning off that green screen area. Let's go on the other side of the curtains. This is the green screen area. We have 2 more gray ones up there on the roof treating. We have a rug here, and this is the other side of the curtains. So it's sectioned off a bit for our green screen. Wow, that's incredible! And then in the set, we kind of seal off the side walls with these rolling sound blankets that I've had. The roof in here is made out of sound blankets. Those previous 2 professional panels, I just kind of threw on top of those gear lockers just to say I did. And then very lastly, we have the price. This is the professional one. I bought a fair share of these in my days. These guys come in at $72.95. Now, for the big panels, the gray fabric was a bit more expensive than the teal. So the gray panels come in at $98.69. The teal ones come in at $78.67. It takes 4 of these to make 1 of these. Let's do some quick math here. These are $72.95 times 4. If I were to pay pro prices for one of these guys, it would be $291.80. So I definitely saved some money. We added everything up and threw in a bit of estimation because, you know, screws and chain and the lumber for French cleats, we didn't quite factor all that in. But to treat this entire warehouse, I spent about $5,800. If I would have gone pro, it probably would have been like 4 times that price. So the moral of the story is, sound treating a giant warehouse is a little bit pricey, definitely takes some time, a little bit hard, but in the end, I am so happy with the results. Right, Nick?
Yeah, I distinctly remember when we first moved into this studio, I was holding up a sound panel and you said I wouldn't have to do this anymore.
This is the last shot where you have to do that.
Okay.
All right, guys, thanks for watching. Bye.